The Yorkshire Dales in the north of England, where deep-cut valleys and rich meadows sit alongside wind-swept uplands and lonely moorland. A landscape shaped by ice and unspoilt by modern industry. To the eastern reach sits Nidderdale, a calm and peaceful area of outstanding natural beauty. Calm and peaceful, that is, until the world's #1 extreme enduro motorcyclist turns up for work.
It's a good training area. It's real gnarly around here, so there's no rest. So it's good for your fitness and it's working you all the way around. It's just 20 minutes from home, so I can just come down. The farmer's okay with me, lets me on here and do some ripping and tearing.
Graham Jarvis is one of the most successful motorbike riders in Britain today. A 5-time UK trials champion, he reached #3 in the world in the early 2000s. And then he found something he was even better at.
I got to top level in trials, so when I changed to enduros, the harder event suited me. So the harder the event, the better it is, and the more technical places, that's where I can make the time off. And then it's about not making mistakes, and definitely on the technical stuff, that's where I think I've got the edge on everyone else.
Extreme or hard enduro is one of the toughest challenges on two wheels. A step up in intensity from conventional enduro or trials riding, the courses combine man-made obstacles with extreme terrain. From sea to snow and from desert to mountain, races can last several days and are designed to test a rider's speed, skill and stamina. And there's no one better at it than Graham Jarvis. Since making his competitive debut in 2006, winning his first event 2 years later, the Englishman has risen to the very top of the sport. Last year, he dominated the competition like no rider before him, winning every race on the tour bar one. This is a man who goes up hills as fast as he comes down them.
I've just done a bit of hard training there, now it's time to have a bit of fun, just looking for some rocks to do. I mean, rocks like this you wouldn't get in an event, but it's just good fun to see what we can do with the bike and show off to the cameras.
At 37, Graham is better equipped than ever to deal with the rigours of extreme enduro. His exceptional technique is derived from his trials background, and a relentless training regime keeps him at peak fitness. With the Pennines mountain range, the backbone of England, on his doorstep, he has the perfect practice ground. The constant challenges of the landscape keep him well motivated.
Some things you're not sure if they're possible, and then you go for them, and sometimes you surprise yourself how easy the bike goes up. Yeah, it's a good buzz for doing things you're not sure about, and then good sense of achievement.
After a morning of hard training and just a little showboating, it's time for Graham and fellow extreme enduro rider Luke Copestake to head to the local watering hole for some well-earned refreshment. The duo take the opportunity to unwind with the more sedate pursuit, the traditional British pub sport of shove halfpenny.
Basically, the aim of this game is you've got to land the penny in between these two lines, as you can see on the board here. If it does land in between them, the opposition then has to have a go, trying to knock the penny out.
I'm getting a bit bored of this.
Graham Jarvis eats, sleeps and breathes bikes. As well as running training academies, he also designs courses for trials championships and directs many UK events. As the pub regulars will testify, this is a man who rarely switches off from his sport. But there is one person who can get Graham to take a break from the bike every now and then. His girlfriend, Sandra.
We're in Pickering steam train. We're going to go for a ride on the steam engine with Sandra here, my girlfriend. Let's go for a ride. Could be the ride of her life. See the train called Cocker and North there. Very appropriate.
With a competitive schedule that sees Graham abroad for long periods, the couple make the most of their time together back home. We joined them as they visited the historic North Yorkshire Moors Railway.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing? All right.
Welcome aboard. Yeah.
Thank you.
While Sandra takes her seat in one of the carriages, Graham just wants to let off some steam.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
The perfectly preserved heritage line takes in 18 miles of moorland scenery. On the footplate, the operations couldn't differ more from the cutting-edge technology that Graham's used to working with. So, for someone who's accustomed to power at the press of a button, does the magic of steam still hold an appeal?
I'm loving it. Yeah, these guys are really busy. I reckon we're going to have to put a bit of coal on, get a few more horsepower out of it. Need a bit more at the top end. We're getting some power now. A bit more power. This is my training for the day. Good prep for Erzberg. We got enough power. You can't even look at it, it's that bright. The heat's incredible there. Feel it burning my face. Got the adrenaline going, I'm loving it. Never been much of a train spotter. No, I've never taken interest in trains, but it's opened my eyes today. It's been a brilliant experience. Size job I could do when I retire. Steady job.
Once Graham's rubbed the soot from his cheeks, it's time to continue the journey from a more conventional position, and it gives him the opportunity to reflect on his early days as a rider.
My dad would always say it was funny how I walked to school, but then I'd be the first one running out of the classroom to get home onto my bike. So yeah, I'd always be home as soon as possible and out practicing on my BMX or just messing about. I did actually tell the careers advisor what I wanted to do, and they sort of said, come out of cloud cuckoo land, I think the words were. Be a bit more realistic. So I suppose it gave me incentive to prove them wrong as well, when people are doubting you and say you can't do something. It spurs you on.
In such a high-risk sport, it can sometimes be just as difficult for those watching as it is for those taking part.
I don't really worry when he's doing enduro or trials or anything, but then, like, I don't really like panic. Romania's quite bad, especially because you can track them on the computer and then it stops and he's looking there for hours and you're thinking what's happened. And then the other one was, I think that was Romania again, where he went across this rooftop wheeling in the rain, and it's like, what are you doing that for? When it doesn't look safe at all. It looks really, I don't know if it was safe, was it? No. It's just stuff like that that he does, and I think, oh my God, glad I out there, I'd have a heart attack.
In the Extreme Enduro Series, riders can be in the seat for hours at a time. They're equipped with fluid packs for sustenance. In competitions such as the Erzberg Rodeo, it's typical for less than half the field to complete the race.
I think you definitely go for a bit of pain in extreme enduro, so you just try and blank it out and try and think about getting to the finish and just try and focus on winning, really.
He's always aching somewhere. He always needs a massage, don't you? He's always telling me if I don't give him a good massage, then he won't win the next race. Don't you? You just like to do your own thing, don't you, really?
Yeah, the best bit is you got a full face crash helmet on so they can't see when you're crying.
As the train pulls into the station, it's time to return to modern life. But there's just one more local attraction that Graham wants to show us. Parsifal Hall in Wharfdale is home to one of the finest historic gardens in the UK. And today, a slightly unconventional guide is giving a tour of the grounds. While Graham's playing in the garden, we ask Sandra just how tough her man really is.
Right, is he listening? Right. He doesn't wash up because it'll make his hands soft and then he'll get blisters.
And does he enjoy the travelling lifestyle as much as he makes out?
The only thing that he just goes on about is the food, because he can eat. He eats roughly, I would say, a meal every two to 3 hours. It's just non-stop eating. So if the food's no good, he hates it, absolutely hates it.
And what about Graham's nicknames?
Got Grimbo, Silent Assassin, G-Force Jarvis, and now G.
With a competitive career spanning over 2 decades, the Silent Assassin has been as deadly as ever this year. After taking the Tough One and Hell's Gate titles in the first 2 months of 2012, Graham was favourite to claim the one prize that eludes him, the Erzberg Rodeo in Austria. But for the 2nd year in a row, he suffered heartbreak. After finishing first past the post, he was disqualified for a missed checkpoint earlier in the competition. He'll have to wait another year for a crack at the big one.
Yeah, I can retire when I've won that. No, I'm just going to keep riding, keep enjoying it. I'm loving it at the moment, so just go out there and have fun and ride every event I can.
Graham bounced straight back from the disappointment of Erzberg to secure his 3rd Red Bull Romaniacs title recently.
Winning's very important to me, yeah. I really don't like losing, but I enjoy riding my bike as well. I can just go out and have fun, and I enjoy going to the events as well. So even if I'm not winning, I think I'm going to keep riding for a few years, definitely.
Whether it's scaling the Erzberg iron ore mine, crossing the plains of South Africa, reaching the summit of Mount Olympus, or just scrambling across the Yorkshire Dales, Graham Jarvis's passion for his sport is as strong as ever, and that's certainly worrying news for the rest of the competition.